Lee here today with high quality home cooking. We're gonna make a tri-tip. First thing you do, you gotta cut off all this hard shit. No one wants to eat that. Not gonna render down. It's not gonna be good. Cut it off. That's the marbling. That's gonna render down, and that's gonna taste real good when we're all done. I'm feeling it here. This is the soft stuff. It'll render down. No big deal. Same there. Okay, I gotta do a little more in here actually. And that stuff right there is hard. We'll be pulling that off later. For those of you wondering where the tri-tip actually comes from, I can answer that for you. It is the corner of the round, the sirloin, and the flank. Normally about 2 pounds in weight. This one here is a little smaller, about 1.5 pounds. We've got a bigger one here that we'll do another time. Oh, there's like 2.5. But not tonight. That's too big for tonight. Soft, soft, soft. Yep, that'll render down. All that's soft enough where it should. Maybe not right there. We'll cut a little bit of that off. Square it up, make it nice and even before I go to cook it. Boom, boom, boom. Alright, now that I've got it all trimmed up, we're gonna pat it on down and then we're gonna season it. Give me just a second here. Take a piece of paper towel, literally just gonna pat it off. It's gonna suck off any of this random moisture that's on it. All you're thinking, what the hell? Don't you want a juicy steak? Promise you, we're gonna have a nice juicy steak when we're done. This is moisture from like being in the fridge. It's not moisture from the steak. It's gonna keep it to where the seasonings don't stick. And that makes for a bland steak. No one wants a bland steak, that's fucking gross. We're gonna start off with this Cookin brand coarse ground black pepper. I put black pepper on all of my steaks. It's just the way you should do it. Good amount, not necessarily a lot, but good little amount. Then we got lemon pepper, some Lowry's lemon pepper. This is basic stuff you can go down to like Safeway and buy. Nothing special. Lemon pepper just gives a little bit of a tang, a little bit of a zest. And this is the real hitter, folks. This is what's gonna give it that nice crust on it. We give it a lot of this. Give it a nice liberal seasoning. So, pat it all in. Pat it all in. Pat it all in. Boom. We'll come back and get the sides of it later. Right now the important part's the faces. Now this guy here, the black seasoning from Bearded Butcher, has a bunch of molasses in it. It's got coffee in it. And that's what's going to give it that nice dark crust. We're just repeating what we did to the front onto the back side. Let me move this stuff out of the way real quick. I have one of these fancy cutting boards that folds, so I'm kind of lucky. Kind of give it a little shake afterwards. Everything comes down. I'll fold it on up, tap it. All the seasonings are sitting there. So now I can take the sides of my steaks that didn't get rubbed, give them a nice rub. Boom, 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 boom. And look at now the sides of it got a nice rub on it. Pat it on there, put a little more on my hand and pat it on there. Just to make sure everywhere gets a little bit of that rub. And I'm gonna let this sit. I'm gonna go ahead and put it back in the fridge on a plate or something and let it sit for another hour or so. Hour and a half is ideal in my mind, but I have about an hour tonight, so we're gonna roll with it. Now that we have our tri-tip sitting with the rub on it, come zoom in. Get a good look at that. You can tell by this color in it, it's soaked in. It's been sitting in here now for a little over an hour, about hour 10. We got our pit boss here set to about 225. A little low right now, but it's okay, not a problem. The most important thing, ladies and gentlemen, is to make sure you have some sort of a liquid in the smoker. What I mean by that is very, very simple. I have 2 tinfoil things from the dollar store that I put beer into. And it's literally to keep moisture in the air. See how smoky it is here? All that smoke's going to dry it out. Take all that moisture out. I got 2 of them. One on each end. One there and one here. Try it right in the middle. Close it. Don't touch it. Just don't touch it. Don't do it. Don't even think about it. Leave it alone. At least 30 minutes. Today we have ours filled with hickory and Jack Daniel pellets. Nothing special, but super tasty. I'm just gonna leave it alone, let it smoke. Be about 225 degrees, should be about 30 minutes, then we'll flip it. At that point, I will check it. We're gonna get it up to about 120 degrees, and then I will pull it off, cover it with some tin foil. We're gonna crank this bad boy up to about 350 degrees or so, and we'll sear it on both sides. That's a reverse sear method, and the reason for this is locks in all the juices. When I do the reverse sear, I will be checking the temperature and getting up to about 130 to 132 degrees. I'll pull it out, be medium rare when I'm done. Perfect for eating. We're back here, and we are going to be flipping the meat now. It has been on there for about, I'd say about 25 minutes or so. Look at that nice dark charring it's got going on. Could have left on a little bit longer potentially on that side, but I think it's alright. We're going to push it back into the middle where we want it. I'm going to probe it just to double check ourselves, see where we're at temperature wise. Perfect. About 105 degrees. Sitting on that side, get us some nice charring action happening. Gotta get up there about another 15-ish degrees. We'll bump that temperature up to about 325, maybe 350. And we'll sear it real well. Lock in all the juices. Be tasty as can be. I've already scoped this guy out. The grain runs this way. For a quality cut of meat like this, you cut with the grain. Look at that. Nicer thin ones for the sandwiches. You know you're gonna have leftovers for tomorrow. Do a couple of thin ones. Some thick ones for tonight for dinner. And before you serve it, you gotta try a bite. Make sure it's good. So if you like what you saw here today, juicy steak. Oh yeah. Give us a like, comment, ask some questions. We're here to help you. And subscribe. That's the most important part, guys. So help us help you at high quality home cooking. Thanks, guys.